Hey crew, it's Pitt, and I'm back with some more of my own stuff. Today we're going to be concluding the reading of my own book, A Series of Unconventional Beliefs, with Chapter 8. We are reading aloud and not really discussing as we go along the various points brought to light by the text. It's not the format for everyone, but you paid for the privilege to be here, so you are more than welcome to tag along as we continue our exploration. If, however, you have somehow managed to subscribe and become a member without knowing what I am or who I am or what I do, there will be several playlists linked in the corner above, along with the original source material, or the link, so that you can get a better understanding of who I am and why I say the things that I do. With that being said, we are going to dive in and continue our exploration of a series of unconventional beliefs with Chapter 8 on clubs and deeds. The key is to keep company only with people who uplift you, whose presence calls forth your best. Epictetus. We only have a couple more topics to touch upon. The first of these are the clubs. As long as we've had written records, we've had records of secret societies, from the Brahmin of India to the Egyptian priesthood down to Pythagoras and, much later, Rosicrucians, and even later than that, Freemasons. Knowledge has been kept and passed down to members of these clubs with varying efficiency and with differing reasons. Some wish to keep harm from befalling the profane, and so restrict knowledge to those they deem worthy through systems of testing, resolve, and memorization skills. They value secrecy because it has allowed some of them to continue relatively unhampered. This is relatively harmless, but knowledge has been lost to attrition. We don't know the inner workings of the Pythagorean beliefs because they weren't recorded and were not passed on, mainly due to sudden death. This eventually leads to hollow beliefs, simply doing a ceremony because it's what's done, and without the underlying belief that will impart spirit. This can be dangerous. A group of children playing with a board to communicate with spirits that have passed on can open the doors to entities on the sixth plane. It doesn't matter that they don't really believe the power of the board. They are investing in the procedure. This can lead to spirits being trapped, or worse, taking possession of a fifth dimension vessel. Ceremonial magic can be dangerous if not done correctly, with the exactly proper mechanisms and intonation. Dealing with entities requires a great deal of knowledge. There are both positive and negative entities. In other words, there are entities that are aligned with the betterment of mankind and entities that are aligned with the detriment of mankind. Both serve a purpose, but the positive entities cannot lie. They cannot act in a way that is not in service to greater good. But those other guys, they can and they will. They can lie about which kind they are. They are restricted, mostly, from directly harming you unless you invite it. They can twist words and they can fake deals. You have the capacity on the sixth level to see forward and backwards in time, but not always to understand the significance. It is a likely correct assumption that they have not allowed a book to be published that relays the details on how to correctly contain them. It is much more likely that any containment conferred by any published work is voluntary in deception. The entities of the seventh plane have the capacity to understand the significance of the information they relay, but also have the same properties. In example, positive, negative, etc., and are therefore much less likely to allow such publishing. Part of the reason knowledge is restricted is because of this. Part of the reason it is only ever verbalized and then only under very specific circumstances is also this. I do not recommend nor do I practice ceremonial magic for these reasons as well. Others, however, restrict the knowledge not for protective reasons, but from a desire for power. Honestly, an entire volume could be dedicated to these, as they are the most common of the clubs, or individual practitioners. Neither the positive nor the negative. Yes, we have souls aligned with the benefit detriment on every level of existence. In example, heavy metals, poisonous plants, venomous animals are restricted to these secret clubs. There are open clubs as well. Hitler famously led one club aligned with the detriment. Washington, one famous for betterment. Both believed they were correct, but fruit only grows on the correct tree. Every large association can be a club. It might be a state, it might be a religion. Many are profane, meaning they don't practice the spiritual. Many are clean, but all of them created to give a rule set, control systems per se. Sometimes the system is making you better. Sometimes not so much. We need to be diligent in determining which ones we choose to follow. Sometimes we believe we're correct, but the fruit will only grow on the correct tree. God has given you the freedom to choose your future, in large measure. You get to decide a myriad of things every single day that affect where you are going in your life, personally and professionally. There are still bottlenecks, narrowings of paths available. Hitler and the Second World War was a narrowing of the paths. Millions of individual decisions by thousands of people leading to a greater event where many lessons were learned. Remember, not all lessons are pleasant. An entire generation touched, changed. The course of history changed. Not everything was unpleasant, and the things that weren't were caused by individuals choosing better paths. Schindler is a famous example of someone doing the right thing at great risk to self. Bottlenecks are opportunities when they're not tragedies. But what are they fundamentally? They are what we, collectively, have decided is going to happen to us, collectively. You are manifesting your future whether you're aware of it or not. You are choosing every day to create the future that you live in by the mundane choices that you make. If, however, you are aware that you can focus your intention, soul, and release the fire, spirit, of your action, then you can take intentional control of the direction of your timeline. The energy given off by the friction of your timeline feeds into and helps set the direction of the greater timeline of humanity. The problem lies, however, in not being aware. If you are consciously choosing your direction, you are probably being guided into one by the clubs, one or several depending upon you. Some are unintentionally leading you, and some are very purposefully doing so. I generally try not to generalize. I go by the one mother-father rule. It only takes one mother-father in the club to be aligned wrong for it to have a greater effect. The whole club doesn't have to be involved in detrimental activities for someone in the club to be involved. If that one mother-father is the person calling the shots, he can have other people take actions they don't understand. If, for example, the person gives a package to be delivered, the courier does not have to know there's illicit materials in the package. It could be narcotics, it could be a bomb. Regardless, the package is delivered on the orders of the criminal without consent of the deliverer. Many of the clubs are recruiting grounds for the more nefarious clubs. It just takes one mother-father. I don't hold the Masons in disregard because of the rumors around them for these reasons. I do for them performing ceremonial magic without a belief in that magic. After all, it just takes one mother-father who does believe to harvest from many who don't. By the same token, it only takes a little light to brighten a room. Positive actions taken with intention reverberate stronger than negative actions taken surreptitiously. One person acting with the correct intention can subvert an entire club's worth of subterfuge. You can be that mother-father. And as a wrap-up, we'll talk about what I did. Many people are commenting lately, early 2025, about how we must have shifted timelines. It's not just a few, it's many, and it's not just aligned with any one particular control system, although one is surely more happy about the results. It's because I took control, and here's how and why. I started my walks on the last day of 2019. I started praying daily on those walks in 2020, just before the pandemic and the severe altering of future. I was on the conspiracy side of that situation because I had been following it from the beginning. I watched the progression and the deliberate misleading of the people. Then came the shots. Again, this was something I knew about. I had been talking about the science behind it for 7 years before the general public knew it was an option. Again, with the propaganda. So, as part of my prayers, I asked for a way to help, outside of just prayers. That's when I got the things I talk about in this book. It's taken me a while to get comfortable with the method. It's taken longer to work out the terminology and to get comfortable with the ideas. I started internally first, but eventually I went external. I took intentional control and responsibility for the unintentionally aligned timelines of the greater population. Not in specifics, but in general. As part of my prayer, I started praying for you. Every single one of you. I pray every single day for you to know peace, love, forgiveness, freedom, and prosperity. I energetically align with that intention every single day, and with aligning those timelines with the better of man. The day I started, Elon Musk announced he was going to buy Twitter. Since that day, we've had a resurgence of free speech. We're not quite there, but we're well on the way. Freedom. Since that day, we've had some ugly conversations as a nation, which has led, with notable exceptions, to greater understanding. Forgiveness. We've had a political coalition on a national level composed of leaders that were opposition. Republican president, Democratic secretaries. Peace. We're seeing less division in the general population, though that one is taking some time due to individuals. Love. We're also seeing a resurgence of our national pride, and soon to come, our manufacturing capacities. Prosperity. I'm not claiming to be the sole cause of these outcomes. God did, however, answer my prayers. I was faithful enough to ask every day, to invest my energy into the outcome I wanted every day. I took positive steps. The MBTI system, the reactions, the spirituality videos, the philosophy videos, all steps towards increasing knowledge, because the truth will set you free. All me investing energetically in the direction God led me to go. I will maintain control for you and the unaware up until the point where you take control for yourself. I will not relinquish to the clubs. I am not manifesting into your personal life, merely investing towards the positive outcome, and I'm not choosing the outcome. I would never have thought that the guy from Tesla would lead to free speech making a resurgence. Some of the bottlenecks are out of your control, but some you can feed into. The information you consume informs your choice. Choose wisely. And that is going to bring us to the end of Chapter 8. You already are here. You're already a follower. You're already a member, and I thank you for that. This is the last part of this particular thing. There will be more things coming onto this particular, like the membership only. I'm just not sure what exactly form that is going to take. It will probably be some explanation of these various chapters at some point, and it will be a better explanation once the questions start coming in, because I will probably answer the questions in a members only format. I'm trying to give you more value than just the 8 videos, but these videos are here for a reason. They serve a purpose. All of these chapters are in an order for a reason. All the numbers of the chapters have a reason for them, right? 0 is the beginning. 8 is the ending. That is for intentional reasons. 1 is the choice. 2 is the decision. These are things intentionally laid out to help you get where you want to be. My whole goal over here is to be as clear as possible about the things that I have learned. Hopefully, this book brings a little bit of enlightenment and not too much confusion to some very, very difficult topics. I understand I hold some unconventional views, and I have a tendency to step on people's toes when I relay those. It's not intentional. I am trying to help people, and I don't apologize for it. I'm doing exactly what Spirit asked me to do, and I'm reaping the benefits of it. I am not mad at all. If you like what I'm doing over here, let me know down below. You've already given me a like, or you've already given me a follow, so hit me with a like and the share, if you can. I mean, it don't do no good to share, never mind. This is members only. Nobody can watch it. But get out there and spread the word. Let other people know that this is a possibility. This can help people. Now, maybe my implementation of the explanation isn't enough, and if it's not, drop it in the comments down below. Let me know what your questions are so that I know what to answer, because to me, I have been living this so long that it is self-evident, and I'm direct, like brutally so. My channel is me working on my directness, right? Becoming more informative. This is me actively working on my lacks that we went through in chapter 4. So if you like it, let me know. To the crew, thanks for hanging out. I appreciate every single minute that you are here with me, and I am praying for you every single day. Until next time, I love you. God loves you. You are perfect, whole, and complete, just the way that you are. And this has been Pit State. Peace.